All right. What's up, everybody? It's Brad. And we're going to look at ES. Okay. It's been a minute since, I feel like it's been forever since I did a video. I think I did one last Thursday. I didn't do one Friday, I don't think. Anyway, my memory's terrible. I wanted to go over today, though. And I wanted to sort of reflect on what happened today, and I totally read it. Well, I wouldn't say I read it wrong. It did what I thought it was going to do. I was not able to take advantage, unfortunately. So yeah, it was just a reminder today to keep studying, keep grinding. You don't have it all figured out. You never do. You got to put in the work. All right. So the one thing I had in my head today, and I got in my head, that's the main thing. The one thing I had in my head today was the 10 a.m. news that was coming out, and it was on the economic calendar. Let me pull that up. We had, let's see, is this it? Yeah. This existing home sale, which was flagged as a 3-star event, right? So that had me hesitant on entering, and actually I didn't even really pay attention to 9:30 open. I saw 9:30 open, but I thought to myself, this is just gonna be nothing until, like, it's obviously a fake move, but it's not even gonna be important in that sense until 10. So I sat on my hands until 10, and when that didn't do anything, then I realized I was out of the trade, and I just made some stupid mistakes after that. Tried to catch some retraces to a high. I think I went in on this one. I was seeing if it would reach up here. Dumb move. I mean, it violates a lot of my rules. You see we had a fair value gap here. Sorry, I'm getting right into it. This is 1 minute. What is fair value gap here, right? I'm just trying to replay all my stupid moves I made. I actually didn't get in on this. For some reason, I just wasn't in it today. If I would have got in on that, taking this high, I mean, that would have been decent. I would have been a 6-handle play. I would have been happy with that. But what I did was get in on this candle as it came back into the gap. I pulled the trigger to get up here. Obviously that didn't work out. Shouldn't have expected it to work out. It was a bonehead play. So I made a couple bonehead plays like that throughout the morning, and yeah, ended up hitting 3 losses, and I just called it a day with that. Wasn't in my element. So I guess that's the lesson for today, and I'm actually pretty proud of how I handled the bad trading being in my head the way I was. I took 3 losses and said, it's not my day. My head's not in it. I'm having a hard time focusing, seeing things, so let's just stay out. I actually switched over to a practice account, and still tried to take some trades in the afternoon. Ended up having pretty good success with that, but just wasn't worth it trying to use my main account. and possibly losing funding with how far I got last week. It would have been a real killer. But anyway, enough about me. Let's talk about ES, what happened today. So, I mean, really the story, if we want to go back to the daily. I got a lot of shit on here, huh? Let's do this. I'm going to turn this into a little bit of a chart prep as well. So on the daily, today you see the candle was mighty strong red. A lot of this happened in the overnight session, which I think got in my head a little bit as well, because it's not super common for something to continue a trend through all the overnight session and then through the day and through lunch and through PM, but that's what happened. So let's talk about where this came from. So it was expected, right? So one thing we were watching for is from this run up, the golden area, right? And you can see we touched down into that, came back up. Where did we come back to? The golden area. And then it worked its way down, came back up again in that same kind of golden area, but that filled some gaps, and it really Friday really set up for a stronger run down. And we had these, lower highs, lower lows that happened all throughout this consolidation range. So this was only a matter of time. I thought it could go one more before doing that. But I wasn't surprised when I woke up and I saw this was running pretty hard. Now, another place I went wrong, I thought some of these other gaps would have done something, and they didn't. So let's look at the 4 hour, because this was really one that surprised me, I guess. We had this 4 hour gap here. This is one that we had bounced off of. Obviously here, but that sort of started the run. We came back down into it here, reacted heavily, and came back down CE. And then today, worked right through it. And this was a big indicator too. How it came down here, it actually came through, back up, came up and touched the top. We'll go a little further into that one. There was another 4 hour gap that we were watching when this mess was going on. And you see how didn't get through, did go through, respected, bounced off, went through, respected the next one, bounced up, and then that's when it goes through here, right? So this gap, I would say, no, I'm not super like an expert at this, right? So, but I would say this gap is sort of toasted at this point. Let me put that back on there. And one big thing is because of the run back up and touching the top and then coming back down through it. Could be wrong, but that's sort of what I'm going with on that. Now we have another 4 hour gap. 4 hours got a lot of stuff going on here. We'll throw some CEs on here as well. So we got the CE there. You see respected, broke through. We don't really care about that CE anymore. We have this 4-hour gap. We have this 4-hour gap, which is coming up. And then we had a wick, I believe on the daily. This wick here. I'll throw a CE on that. And another thing you'll notice is we have a daily gap. All right. So the CE of that wick is almost the same as the CE of this gap. I mean, it's literally like, is it the same? No way. It's a little bit off, a couple ticks or something, which was very cool to see. So I actually took this one off today since it's basically the same number. We have another big day gap here. I'm not going to mark that out right now. And then we have a day gap here. Now, let's see what happened today to close out that 4-hour gap. Boom, 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 right? Up and back, and then drop, right? And this was early in the morning. So this happened in the overnight session, right? Came down here, just kept going down, down, down. London kicked it off to go down further through that gap, bounce up, back down, back up. We'll check the CE here. So I want to see how it played off of that. So I always think that's really interesting. Let's go back to the 1 hour. So yeah, I mean, you see here, hits the CE, goes up, back, 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 back. So that's like thoroughly traded, right? We can go into the 15-minute and see more of how that handled it. But yeah. Let's see. London open was actually this candle. And it gave us a little tip of the hat, right? Came up into this gap and started this. Came back up into the gap and started our big downtrend. And then you'll see 9:30. The 15-minute looked pretty good, huh? This really should have been the entry here. I mean, it was pretty clean. Like I said, I got in my own head and I did not enter here, but that's a great entry when you're talking about opening, manipulation, grab a high, hit a CE, and then start a big aggressive move down. I mean, that's what you're looking for. So we'll see him again. Don't worry. We'll see it again. Hopefully this experience will help us take advantage of the next time we see it. All right. We did end up digging into that 1-day gap, but the body's respected there. Okay. So that's going to be, I mean, I think we have a couple more days of downward movement. Aggressive downward movement. And I think we'll dig into that 1-day gap. Let's pop this on here just because I'm seeing it right now. There's a 15-minute gap. We'll pop a CE on there. Let's see how that interacts. Look at that. Beautiful when you see that. Respecting the CE. Okay. So that's likely going to start trending down now. We do have another gap here, but it's what, 10 o'clock on the East Coast right now. I would expect it to start moseying down this way and probably, I mean, I could see it going just in this and then London start to work on this 1-day gap. Anyway, that's what we're looking out for. I don't know if we're going to do much retracement into this move today. It does not seem likely. And this is just based on the history of these big moves, right? If you look back to September, we had a similar style of move. I'm on the March contract, that's why it looks so weird. But if we looked at ES in total, you'll see June of last year we had a similar type of move. And I don't think we get anything this crazy, but let's talk about that. What do we expect, right? Well, I'm going to rely on my good old friend, the golden fib, for this one. And we're going to go bottom to top. We're going to pop the golden fib on there. And we're going to say, what does a retracement look like? Because we would expect, and actually let's go with CE golden so we can see where a discount would be. We are still in a premium right now. Discount would be this line here, that 3,998.50, which is really close to the CE of this 1 day gap. I think it's 3,998. So what we would expect is for price to come at least below this 0.5 line, and ideally we would look for it to trade into this golden area or below the golden area. So our eyes will probably want to be on this gap down here, and that seems appropriate, right? Like, picture it in your head. If this leg up, this, like, don't even think about this being a daily chart, right? If this is a 15-minute chart or something, right? If it came down into this gap again, would you be surprised? No, you wouldn't. You'd go, wow, that's pretty aggressive. And you'd look for a reaction. You'd actually probably look for a reaction here, maybe. But definitely here. And if it got down there, the order block would be... Hi, my cat joined. The order block, I guess, would be this wick here. So that's a good target. What's that? 3,946 CE of that wick, right? Mean threshold of the order block. Now that order block is not a great one, right? Because it's almost all wick, but as far as like strength is concerned, so yeah, it's a little tough to try to figure that out. Here's something here as well, right? That's an interesting thing to keep an eye on. A volume imbalance, right? A volume imbalance down here. The volume imbalance there would be very interesting. And I think that's something we should just probably have plotted out, right? A daily volume imbalance there, right? So yeah, let's keep the golden up and let's go to like the hour. So we would be down in here. Do we see anything on the hourly? This is where we could get more into the order blocks, I think. If you want to go into this, maybe say this guy is your order block. this one. It's a consolidation range. Going to the 15 minute. So you just keep going down. Usually this is what I do. I keep going down until I find a PD array in the golden zone that I think is significant, you know. I'm going to mark that sell side. That's a big sell side target. Obviously there's some others too. Now if you scroll all the way over, we're trading in here right now. This area, there's a big sell side target. Actually, we took that out, right? Yeah. So this sell side target was taken out today. It's one thing I didn't have plotted out. I didn't have a lot of the sell side targets, so that's my bad there. Now, you see on this 50% line, right near the CE, we have a little order block here on the 15 minute. That's something to be aware of. I mean, I think that's a bunch of stuff that creates a reaction point, right? And if we are to see any kind of retrace, I would really look for 3998 to be a catalyst, hitting that to be a catalyst for some kind of retrace up into here. Now, I don't know if it lasts very long, but just something to think about. So yeah, where are we heading? That's my guess. You know, this volume imbalance seems good. This daily gap seems pretty good too, but that would mean we blew up the order block there, which I'm not a huge fan of. But it definitely could just do a couple of, you know, order blocks here and create a larger downward move. I'm not convinced of that. I think we're still gonna be bullish, even after we get down here, right? Still a bullish trend right here. And I still think we're heading to take out this big long-term high and switch the structure of the market. So that's my guess. We'll see how these next couple of days play out. If this goes down aggressively without much pullback, I think that's actually a better sign that it will bounce off one of these areas and create the next little bull run. If it takes its time and piddles down, I think we could be in trouble. So we'll see. This is definitely a newer type of experience since I've been doing ICT. You know, since I've been doing ICT, we've really been in this consolidation zone, this big run up here, and then another consolidation zone. So I haven't experienced a good bearish run with ICT yet. So see how this plays out. One other thing to keep in mind, I mean, there's a lot of stuff here, right? There's a lot of stuff here that could slow it up. And one other thing to keep in mind is that we had this consolidation zone here. And when we got back into that, you know, it did cause things to start retracing a little bit. So we'll see if we react to being back in this zone at all. But yeah, tomorrow, what I would look for is to see what happens overnight, obviously. If this 15-minute gap holds, I think we will head into the 3998 point, and I think that will provide some sort of reaction to maybe, you know, I don't really know what severity of the reaction it will be, but that's a big area. That's a big area, that 3998. So yeah, that's my bias right now. is that we'll at least get to that, and then we got to see how it reacts to figure out what the next move will be. But yeah, today was, if you looked at the 15-minute, it was a beautiful entry at 9:30, 9:45, and just a really great trend day, and a lot of money could have been made there going through that gap. That would be probably my final target there, is getting through that gap. I wouldn't have even targeted that. I would have targeted the CE maybe. But yeah, I hope you guys got to take advantage of this move, unlike me. But hey, the lesson to keep in mind is to live to trade another day. I was going to say don't do anything stupid, but that's not a good way to look at it. Having a bad day doesn't mean you're stupid, and it doesn't mean you're bad at trading. It just means that it's just not a good day for you, right? There could be a bunch of different reasons why. You locked in a bias that was wrong and got in your head about it. You were nervous about something and you couldn't focus. There's a lot of reasons why you might want to say, okay, maybe I'll just watch today. So, especially if you take a couple bad trades, just step back for a second. And that's a really big benefit, and I've been having a lot of I felt very good about using the practice account, and I think it's something maybe more people should look into when they're having an off day, or you're in your head about something, you're a little nervous, you're unsure if something will work out. There's no shame in having a demo account that you want to try different ideas or try to build a little confidence. Yeah, it's not real money, but it doesn't matter. Like, it's real confidence. It's real experience. It really is. Treat it like you would treat your normal account. Don't just hit the button and hope. Have goals. Here's my price target. Here's what I think. Play the scenario out in your head. Do the trade like you would live. But if you use a practice account, a demo account, to build the confidence, it can still give you that experience, I think. Obviously it's another level doing it with money. So just be aware of that, but do not feel bad about, losing some money and taking a step back and going to a demo to regroup and gather some experience before trying again. All right. Hope you guys had a great day, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Join the community with the Discord link at the bottom in the description. Would love to have you hang out during the day and talk about the price action. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Talk to you later. Bye.